All right, speaking of shop, the next presenter before the break received an MFA from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Give it up for the line. I grew up about 60 miles from there in the middle of nowhere. And he also got a BFA from the University of Wisconsin-Stout. In addition to being the chair of the metals department at the Southwest School of Art, he maintains a strong studio practice. Recent achievements and exhibitions include participation in Exhibition in Motion at the Bellevue Arts Museum in Seattle, Craft Texas at the Houston Center for Contemporary Craft, and Adornment and Excess Jewelry in the 21st Century at Miami University Art Museum. In 2009, he received the LEAP Award from the Society for Contemporary Craft. That is an annual and national award given to emerging craft artists. Due to be published within the next year, he is also one of the many artists to be included in the book called Humor in Craft that is authored by, he's got another book, it's like Authorville, authored by Bridget Martin, who is the founder of Craft House. His work has been described as exploring moments of human interaction through both sculptural and mechanical forms and interactive jewelry. Please welcome our next presenter, Gary Schott. Hello. You guys all hear me? I'm taller than anyone else usually. All right, ready, set, go. Thanks for coming out tonight. Tonight I'm going to give you, or the next 6 minutes, a brief glimpse of my work and the creative process. I'm leaning over to hold the mic up now. Like many artists, now that I've lost my train of thought, I'm inspired by many objects, including this German tin toy. I collect a lot of things. My wife and I, we have our display cabinet is chock full of things. To everything like this tea timing device, which is a beautiful blend between plaything and utilitarian. I love it. I also look at a lot of other contemporary artists, like my friend and colleague Renee Zettel-Sterling, who does pieces about mourning and how they interact with the different senses. In this piece, her grandfather's shirt is embedded into the piece so that when she puts it on, she can smell the fragrance of her grandfather. This furniture maker, whose name I'm now forgetting, does kinetic furniture in that with the simple lifting of a lever, a hidden compartment is revealed for storage. And again, a blend between utilitarian and plaything. I really love that. So perhaps it would be more correct to say that I'm a designer of interactive moments. In addition to my background as a metalsmith and jeweler and artist. Like this martini agitator, which is meant to marinate an olive in your martini. You can only imagine how fun that'll be. Or in this photo with a kissing mediator, local artists Jennifer Dashett and Ryan Takaba are demonstrating its purpose and use. It's just merely a device to mediate an intimate moment, rendering it rather sterile, but I love that humorous interaction. This is a video of Eskimo Kisser #3 at one of my openings. The kind gentleman is demonstrating how to use it. This lady got really freaked out, but okay. So perhaps it's also natural, though, that I go to jewelry, not just making kinetic sculpture, and that jewelry in and of itself is inherently interactive. It is to be worn on the body. It already has that woven into its definition. Mine goes just a little bit further, as demonstrated in the next image. These works that I did for the Society for Contemporary Craft for the LEAP Award, when you turn the little crank handle, you're rewarded with a little surprise. And you'll see in the following video how a few of them actually work. So this piece is titled Come Here. This piece is called Impatient Shoes. These are all brooches. They are wearable. And this one's called Helping Hand. Now, while my jewelry seems a bit untraditional, all the techniques and skills used to build them are pretty much those I learned as an apprentice goldsmith and while working or earning my degrees in traditional metalsmithing and jewelry, even though I use it for very untraditional purposes. But before I ever get into even making the piece, I have to start with that initial idea. In this case, we'll use the example of the Eskimo kissers. I got to think of that moment that I want to celebrate or highlight or raise up from its banality. And this is my friend Masako demonstrating its use at a conference. So that means I do a lot of mechanical studies. I get to just sit in the studio and play. What a life. So this is just a few image or video of mechanical studies for upcoming work. But I just play with mechanisms and just think of things that would lend themselves to the current project. After that happens, I then start to implement them into a design, into a prototype. I work a lot with wood and mat board and super glue, which is usually a no-no for metalsmiths, but we love it for prototypes and model making. And this is a working model of Eskimo Kisser number 5 that you'll see later on. So this is a finished product. This is Eskimo Kisser number 4. And I really cherish as a metalsmith and a fabricator that everything is handmade, all the way from the needle felted nose to the wood turned handles. I'm a bit OCD about it. It all has to be made by me by hand. You can see on the right hand side close up some of the details. So it's all hand sawn out by a jeweler's saw frame. It's hand formed, it's hand soldered. And the frame is mild steel, it's just silver brazed together. And one of the things I like to celebrate with these two is that they reference an interest and a collection I have of 19th century kitchen devices too that were meant to clamp onto kitchen tables. And I think that really celebrates the blend between utilitarian, plaything, art object. And I really enjoy the fact that some of these Eskimo kissers can lend themselves to being on architectural elements too. But the real true magic moment for me, although I spend all this time making an aesthetically beautiful object, in my opinion, is that interactive moment. That is the magic right there. So one of my upcoming projects I'm really happy to start working with is a company in the UK, Liking Land. This is images of the co-founder, Martin Smith, and some of his work. But they work with artists to work on prototypes with their engineers to custom design a new piece, and then they create a limited edition that they put out there. And evidently that is all the time I have.
Well, sorry, very cool. Okay, I have a lot.